Please welcome with her speech entitled How a Teenager Contributed to My Success, Akeila, everybody!
A head teacher, a teenager, and the conversation that changed my life forever. I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, in an inner city area of Birmingham called Handsworth. I remember playing out all day and all night, playing tig and tag, tracking, knock door run, all that good stuff, living our best life. We used to play outside all day and throughout the long nights. And the only time that we knew it was time to go home was when the sun came down and the street lights went up. It was amazing. By the time I was 16 years old, I'd been a witness of a rape. I'd been a witness of countless sexual abuse. I'd been a witness of drug abuse and how it tears families apart. I'd had a friend that'd been stabbed, and I clearly remember one night coming home and having to step over a dead body. Up till this day, I can still remember what that felt like and what that looked like. But you see, I counted myself kind of lucky because I was never the victim, I was always the witness. But there's something about being a witness. You put on a mask so that you can never, ever become the victim. That's exactly what I did. I wore a mask. I wore a mask so that no one could ever get me. I wore a mask so that innocent little girl could never, ever become a victim. I wore the same mask throughout my adulthood where I pretended to be strong, I pretended to be okay, when inside everything was crumbling. And you see, the problem with wearing a mask is that you kind of just disconnect yourself from yourself. It's impossible to disconnect yourself from all of these negative experiences, but still have the positive ones. Subconsciously, I searched and searched and searched for people, for things, for places that confirmed that for me, that confirms that all of this trauma I went through was normal. So for the next 10 years, I lived that and relived that every single day. 10 years later, I'd had a couple of children. I was on my third child by now. It's over there. And I remember him being in the pushchair, going to go and see my head teacher at my old school. So I was pushing the baby into the head teacher's office, and he was like, come in and have a talk with me. Just sit down for a moment. He's like, can I hold your baby? I said, sure. So he's got my baby, and he's walking around with him, you know. And he starts to ask me 1,000,001 questions. So how are you? How's life? How many kids do you have? How's your career going? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you using creativity? Are you using your strengths? What do you do? What do you plan to do? What's the next 5 years hold for you? I kid you not, I sat there like a little girl and I didn't know how to answer him. And I don't know if it's because he saw my face or he felt my energy, but he stopped for a moment and he was like, are you okay? I didn't answer. He said to me, you know something, let me tell you something. When you were a teenager, you were creative. You were resilient, you were intelligent, you were so smart, you used to infuriate me because you never used to try, but you always used to achieve so much. In order for you to be happy in your life, you're going to need to do something that challenges you, that uses your strengths and uses your creativity. That conversation was 10 years ago, and that inspired me to be who I am today. The questions he asked, the reflection that he gave to me, enabled me to reconnect that teenager that I once was. He reminded me about what that teenager knew about me that I had forgotten. So I stand here in front of you today as a life coach, a business coach, a qualified NLP practitioner, qualified in hypnotherapy, and just received my master's in coaching from the University of Warwick. Tony Robbins said, Tony Robbins said that our biography is not our destiny. It is our decisions, not our conditions, that shape our life so powerfully. At that point, I chose me. What decision are you going to make? Are you going to choose you? I'm going to leave you with this question. What is it that your teenage self knows about you today that you've forgotten? If you feel that you're on a journey of reconnecting yourself in order to shine your light into this world and you would like someone to accompany you on that journey, then please contact me. My name is Akeila Browne from Akeila Browne Coaching, and my details are on the form. Thank you for your time. Thank you.